BunnyDoo Friends. I'm BunnyDoo. Do you love fairy tales as much as I do? Then let's get started. Today, we are going to read the fairy tale, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. If you like the story, little friends, maybe join my channel. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, nestled among soft green hills and colorful flowers, there was a small and cheerful little town. Its name was Hamelin. Every morning, the delicious smell of fresh bread floated from the bakeries. Children ran happily through the streets, and birds chirped cheerfully. Everyone began the day by saying, "Good morning," to each other, and their warm smiles made the whole town feel bright. One morning, a tiny fuss started in the town. The sacks left in front of the houses were tearing open, and cheeses on the market tables were disappearing. Strange little creaking sounds were coming from the streets. While the townspeople tried to understand what was happening, they suddenly saw a large group of little mice arriving in the town. The mice spread everywhere, running around with curious bright eyes and soft fur. They sniffed and tasted anything they found, asking each other, "What could this be?" The mayor gathered everyone in the square and spoke to them with a worried voice.
There are far too many mice in our town. They nibble everything and damage our belongings. We must find a way to get them to go somewhere else without hurting them.
As the mayor spoke, the mice stopped and watched the townspeople. They turned their heads from side to side as if they understood what was being said. Just then, a sweet flute sound drifted from far away. The melody gently filled the streets, and everyone listened with curiosity. The tune was so soft and lovely that even the wind seemed to slow down to hear it better. A young flute player, wearing a colorful vest and carrying a small pouch on his belt, walked into the town square with slow, rhythmic steps. His flute sounded so gentle that smiles appeared on everyone's faces. The flute player paused his music and began to speak.
Hello, kind people of Hamelin. I am a traveling flute player. Wherever I go, I bring happiness with my songs and fill each place with joy.
Welcome, flute player. I am the mayor of this lovely town. You may stay as long as you like. But we have a problem. The town is suddenly full of mice. We don't want to hurt them, but they cannot stay here. There are simply too many.
Animals enjoy my melodies so much that they start dancing the moment they hear them. Maybe I can persuade them to go somewhere else with my music.
The flute player took a deep breath and began to play again. A beautiful melody flowed through the streets of Hamelin. Soon, tiny footsteps could be heard all around. The mice came out of their hiding places and hurried toward the sound. They gathered around the flute player and started dancing. One of them turned to its friends and said,
"This place is amazing! It smells like yummy cheese everywhere. And this song is so lovely that my little paws start dancing all on their own."
The other mice agreed. Their dancing grew faster with the rhythm. Some lifted their paws into the air. Others twirled while swinging their tails like ribbons. Children happily tapped their feet to join the rhythm. The townspeople were surprised, yet they couldn't help smiling at the funny but adorable scene. When the flute player gently changed the melody, the little mice's steps softened and slowed. The music felt like it was drawing an invisible path out of the town. Without speaking a word, the mice lined up and followed the tune. The flute player walked calmly ahead, and the townspeople sighed with relief as they watched the mice follow him. With the flute player in front and the mice behind him, they walked out of the town gate and toward the green meadows. The gentle melody drifted through the flowers, then beside a little stream. The flute player remembered the peaceful forest he had seen on his way to Hamelin and decided to take the mice there. They passed the faraway hills and reached the forest. When the flute player softly ended his melody, the birds flapped their wings as if they were clapping. The little mice noticed the music had stopped and immediately began running around the forest, looking for food with happy excitement. They were now far away from the town. The forest became a cheerful home for them, just like it was for the other animals living there. When the flute player returned to Hamelin, everyone greeted him with big, joyful smiles. The mayor stepped forward and spoke.
Thank you so much. You saved us from big trouble. Everyone in town is grateful for what you did.
I'm so glad my songs could help. You have your peaceful town back, and the mice are happy in their new home.
The flute player picked up his flute again and set off on his way with a cheerful tune. Some townspeople waved goodbye, while others hummed along to his song. And so, Hamelin became peaceful once more. The little mice built their own happy homes in the forest and lived joyfully. Whenever a soft breeze passed by, both the mice and the townspeople remembered the flute player. The thin melody carried by the wind sometimes floated through the trees, sometimes over the rooftops, bringing gentle comfort to everyone who heard it. 3 magic apples fell from the sky. One for those whose hearts are full of love. One for those who follow their dreams. And one for the little friends listening to this story. So, did you like the story? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, little friends.